Hey, regular 4xe fans. In today's video, we're going to talk about blended hybrid mode, or what some call M8 mode, or mate. I don't know, just depends on how you say it. But we're going to talk about what a blended hybrid mode is, how it works, how it operates, what the benefits may or may not be. If you aren't familiar with the Wrangler 4xe and you're wondering what this blended hybrid mode, it is not a mode that is any kind of thing that the manual says you can do. It's nothing like that. It's just something that other Wrangler 4xe owners have figured out, and it's another way of operating the Wrangler 4xe to try to make the most of the vehicle's two propulsion systems together. So let's dig into it. Now we're starting with the vehicle in hybrid mode, as you can see on the E-Select. And currently the gas engine is not running. I hope I'm framing these shots up right. I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at the road. And what you're seeing, of course, is that the gas engine is not running because we're in hybrid mode and the system's operating for peak efficiency. So it's only going to use the gas engine if I get on a little bit harder, or once we reach the point that we're at the less than 1% on the battery gauge, and then it'll, of course, run the gas engine the whole time. But what a lot of people wanted to know is, how can I get that thing to operate? Say I'm doing a 50-60 mile drive, and I want to blend those two systems for the entire trip. How can I do that? And now I've got to tell you straight up front, I am neither a proponent or opponent of this methodology of operating the 4xe in this way. I don't know that it's any more or less energy efficient than just allowing the vehicle to make its decisions and running down the battery to that less than 1% point and then just becoming a hybrid. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I have an idea of a test in my head that I just haven't had the time to do it because it's going to take a lot of time. So we're getting on a little bit of a, it's not really a highway, but it is a faster surface street. And we're going to go down through here and I'm going to show you what this M8 mode or blended hybrid mode is. Now, first of all, if you've never paid attention, you have a little M with a plus above it and below it over here on the shifter. And what that is, if you want to manually shift the Wrangler 4xe, pull the shifter over to the left. Now, one thing you might have noticed that happened when I did that is the gas engine started. So right now we're forcing that gas engine to run, and we are going to have to shift manually to keep up with the speed. I'm going to have to increase my, you can see that I'm shifting down here. I'm pulling back on the shifter to increase to the next gear. Now, what some people have found is if they get on the highway, to keep the RPMs low, they'll go ahead and get shifted. I'm probably shifting a little too quick here. They'll go ahead and get it settled in 8th gear and run the vehicle like that. And what we have found is that when you do that, you're still using battery. The Wrangler 4xe, I probably say it way too many times in way too many videos, the Wrangler 4xe is always a hybrid. There is no gas mode. There is no time when the electric side is not involved, because that electric motor's in here in the transmission, and it's always in line. It's a parallel hybrid, so it's always part of the system. There's never a time that it's not in there. And as you can see, I'm slowing down here at an intersection, and the vehicle goes ahead and downshifts for you, so you don't have to worry about downshifting. All you have to worry about is shifting as efficiently as possible. And I'm demonstrating this just to show you that there is another way of operating the vehicle, that you can keep the gas engine running and use the electric side together in a blended hybrid mode, rather than the vehicle burning up all that battery power at the beginning of the trip and then just falling into hybrid mode at the end, which it always will. It will always be a hybrid. And if you're unfamiliar with the Wrangler 4xe system and how it works, there is another electric motor generator out there on the front of the engine, and the motor in the transmission is also a motor generator. And anytime those two motor generators have an opportunity to charge, they do so. And the vehicle looks for those low demand times to charge the battery. So it's always a hybrid. But it will still slowly burn down through that battery when you're using this M8 mode or blended hybrid mode. It will still use the battery, it will just use it a lot slower, and it blends those two propulsion systems together. And what a lot of us have found, up to about 60, 70 miles, you'll still have that battery. And during that time, you'll get between 30 and 33 miles to the gallon. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not a proponent for either using just regular hybrid mode or blended mode. And I say that because energy is energy. You know, if you have two AA batteries and you use them together, the amount of, if you're using a low current, you know, sometimes when you have multiple batteries, you put them together because you have current needs, and that depends on if you put them in parallel series, but we won't get into all that. But if you have two batteries, you know, the amount of energy in those two batteries remains the same, no matter if you put them together or take them apart. If you put 4 batteries, the amount of energy in there remains the same. Now, you can use that energy longer, of course, it will last longer, but the amount of energy in those two AA batteries will never change just because you connect them together. And I have a feeling, I don't know this for sure, but I have a feeling with the Wrangler 4xe, we have those two energy sources, just like our two AA batteries. We have those two energy sources, and you're never going to find yourself in a situation where using them differently creates more energy, is what I'm getting at. But if the gas engine is having to run on that trip anyway, it may or may not, I don't know. Like I said, I've talked to people that swear that they can get a more energy efficient version of hybrid mode out of the vehicle by doing that, but I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I'm just saying that is one possible solution, and I wanted to present that in case you haven't experimented with running in M8 mode or blended hybrid mode. That might be something to think about, and it might be situational. It might work in some areas and it might not in other areas. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you have done any actual experiments. The way to actually run this experiment out is you have to take 2 drives. On both drives, you need to have a full tank and a full battery. And then you need to track your gas mileage at the end of each drive. And you have to drive like 80 miles on each one of these drives. And the drives have to be identical, and you have to drive them, and you know, fairly the same, driving in the same speed and everything. And do one of those drives using the blended hybrid mode, and do the other drive just putting it in hybrid mode and allowing the vehicle to make its decisions, and see which one comes out. And post your comments down below and see what you come away with. I think from the experiments I've done, which I haven't done a real good one, I think it's going to come out about a break even. I think it's going to come out about the same, because just energy is energy, and that's just the way it works. So let me know in the comments down below, and thanks for watching. Take care.